Guys, now we all know what many of us knew all along. They never really cared about kids in cages. They never cared about it. They just hated Donald Trump. Let me say that again. They never cared about kids in cages. They just hated Donald Trump. Now we see what's actually going on. We've seen the Project Veritas photos of what's going on inside these cages, and it's disgusting. It's sick. The Biden administration won't let the press in. Imagine what would happen if Donald Trump said you can't go in. The Biden administration has put a gag order on Border Patrol so that they are not legally allowed to talk to the press or to anyone about the conditions of squalor that they are keeping children in. Many of them with COVID. They're saying there's 50 kids with COVID in these detention centers. No one's saying anything about that. They're living in cages. The pictures have them in aluminum space blankets to keep them warm and reasonably comfortable. At best, as much as you can, wrapped up in a piece of tin foil. Okay? If this was going on under Donald Trump, there would be outrage. AOC would be having press conferences. She'd be tweeting up a storm. She'd be so vocal. Where is she? Come on, AOC, do they not count now? Are they not human now because it's the Biden more humanitarian plastic recyclable cage? Is that what it is? Because I don't know. If I didn't know any better, I'd just say that you guys are full of it and that you're absolute hypocrites. But guys, this is what happens. Joe Biden, you asked for them to come here. Democrats, you basically told them to come here. You enticed them with false promises. You asked them to come. You said you were going to give them free health care and free education, and there was going to never be a check at the border. And all you've done is create a condition where there's more drugs being come across, there's more human trafficking, there's more sex trafficking. You got kids' detention centers overflowing. You know, these are not migrant nice holding facilities like you like to say. It's kids in cages. It's no different than under Donald Trump in terms of condition, other than they're packed like 20x. They're packed and overflowing. There's children with COVID that's going to give other children and ultimately the workers there COVID because you created an environment that would have them come. Donald Trump with the stay in Mexico policies, that worked. The wall worked. Now you say you're not going to enforce that. You force people over here. You have kids being trafficked. You have unaccompanied minors being used. This is all on you, Joe Biden. This is your administration. And what's even more sad is there's more people complaining about Project Veritas releasing this information than there are people complaining about what's actually going on at the border. That can't happen, guys. That is nonsense, and that should not be happening. It's disgusting, but because it's Project Veritas, because they call out Democrat hypocrisy, because it's one of the few journalistic institutions that will actually go against the Democrat talking points and their narrative, of course there's people complaining about that. You people should get a life. You should be complaining about what really matters, which is the condition of these children and the Democrat policies that push them across a border, many cases probably against their will, creating a disastrous situation not just in these detention facilities, but across the full spectrum when it comes to drugs, human trafficking, and sex trafficking. That's on you, Biden administration. And AOC, why don't you get out there and talk about it? Why don't you show your outrage? Why don't you do your fake tears at the border photo op? I'd like to see that, because otherwise I'd think that you're just a total hypocrite, partisan hack. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Keep watching.